Hello, my name is Brandon Barr, and I'm here with Andre Davis, who, like me, is part of Creative Writing Program. Andre, I have a few questions for you. First question is, what do you see as the role of the visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in your profession?
Well, visual arts have a very important role in our mass-mediated world because most of today's jobs, they all focus on it. Even at Full Sail, where I attend school, I feel the most popular programs at the school are the ones that focus on the visual arts. For example, you could probably take a poll right now using random participants who have at least some slight knowledge of Full Sail University and ask if they know about the programs. And I would guarantee that more than likely they'd probably mention the game art and the web design programs. Even the Full Sail ads boast the use of what I like to call superb visual graphics.
Thank you for that. With new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry? Please provide example.
Well, it's definitely having a positive influence on the general public. I mean, a consumer can get whatever they want almost instantly, and a happy customer is one that spends more money. Just think about um, device such as the Kindle. You can get a game, you can get a movie, a book, just about whatever you want with the click of a button. Now, on the other hand, if you're a celebrity, you may not like the idea of people having instant access to your private life because they might find out some things that you don't really want them to know.
Yeah, I think I can understand that. All right, what popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry?
Well, I watch a lot of movies, and one movie that I just recently saw was The Muppets, and they have definitely been rechanneled throughout history, and I believe they will continue to be. I actually didn't think they would have enough room in this world to make a comeback with all the competition that they have with the children's programs these days, and because it seems like the visual arts have just taken over Hollywood as a whole. Whereas like the Muppets, they don't use a lot of visual arts. It's just a guy with a hand puppet and a voiceover character. So I'm quite surprised that they lasted as long as they did.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's part of our childhood, so our generation still exists, so I can see how there's still a purpose for it. Um, are there particular images that this industry has popularized and or created?
Well, currently I live in Central Florida, but I didn't have to live here to have heard of Mickey Mouse. Most of us grew up watching Mickey Mouse on TV, and we probably wanted to visit one of the Disney theme parks several times in our life. And luckily, I was one of those children who frequently made the trip all the way from Texas to Central Florida, and I've actually also been to the Disneyland theme park. And now, since I'm attending a school such as Full Sail, I have an idea of working at one of the Disney theme parks. Even if all I could get was an internship, I at least want to try it out because that image has played over and over in my mind over the years.
Is that something that you're interested in doing after you're done with school?
Of course it is. I mean, I've actually looked into several jobs that cater to writers working for Disney in different aspects of it, not necessarily just the theme park, but the television aspect of it and the movie aspect.
It's interesting. Who is a favorite visual artist, and or what is your favorite style of visual art?
Well, I personally don't have a favorite visual artist because I'm a writer and I don't really see a lot of visual art that like really inspires me. But my favorite style of visual art is sketching, which you will see a lot in graphic novels. And I've actually been reading a lot of graphic novels lately. The reason I like sketching is because you can get a great deal of detail in the characters, especially in their facial expressions as well as their clothing. And although the writing is important to a graphic novel, the pictures tell the story just about as good as, if not better, than the writing itself.
Do you have a favorite graphic novel at this point in time?
My favorite graphic novel at this point in time would probably be Sam and Twitch. That was written by Todd McFarlane, who also wrote Spawn.
Uh, Well, if I can make any recommendation, I recommend that you read the Walking Dead series.
I'll have to check
It's
that
something
out.
else.
Okay.
Um, and the final question will be, how has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process?
Well, for me, like I mentioned before, since I'm a writer, storytelling is my favorite type of art. These days, I find myself reading more and more. Like I've read more books in the last few months than I've probably read in my entire life. And I hate to admit that because as a writer, you're supposed to be a very avid reader. So I'm just kind of catching up to the whole thing. And like I said, recently I've been into a lot of graphic novels, and so far my favorite writers are Neil Gaiman, Joe Hill, and Todd McFarlane. And they reading their work has actually inspired me to even consider coming up with a graphic novel of my own, or at least writing a new thriller, which is my favorite genre.
Hmm. Well, that is interesting. And I just learned a few things new about you that I didn't know before. So that's always fun. I would like to thank you for doing this podcast with me.
Well, thanks for having me. Anytime.
And, well, that will be it. Brandon Barr signing out.